Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Thank you. Welcome back to the show. I'm Jose Cruz, and this is Literacy for All. Our guest is Susan Clark. She's the founder and director of the Common Knowledge Group. And Susan, I should have warned you, time flies on this show. So you probably got surprised at the end of the first segment. But here we are in the second segment. We have about 10 and a half minutes. And I want to make sure that we cover one, the new resume project, and two, what's coming next and how people can get in touch with you if they want to learn more. So tell us, and at the end of the first segment, it was just really exciting to hear about the changes that take place that because people understand better and invest more in, let's say, community issues, they're a lot more likely to be engaged and even to vote and such. And that's what we want. That we want people to be informed and to have the skills. Could ask you a question about the whole skills aspect versus, which is the reading skills part, and then the whole the incentive. And I guess they go together, and you've done a really good job of putting those together.
Well, I think the thing that we learned at Common Knowledge is how important it is to have the adult learners play a role if you're trying to tackle a pretty complicated issue like increasing voting turnout. We also did a similar process for something called Project Money with financial literacy. And then the project that I did want to share with you today was about the new resume project. So as you probably well know, online applications have proliferated. So many more hiring managers are posting jobs online, and then people submit through a portal. Mm-hmm. And more hiring managers are putting a requirement of having a 4-year degree on jobs that didn't used to need a 4-year degree. So, for instance, if you're an executive assistant, about somewhere between 15 to 20% of executive assistants have a 4-year degree, but about 90% of the job descriptions, the hiring descriptions now ask for that. So it's just people are putting that requirement on the job descriptions just to help screen and reduce the numbers of people who are applying.
Right.
But, of course, we know because we work with adult students with all kinds of backgrounds, they have quite a wonderful array of skills. You know, we believe in Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences because that was my delight in becoming a library-based literacy tutor, is what are all the other ways that people are navigating the world as they're in the process of building their reading skills, and so interpersonal skills, mm-hmm. spatial skills. But the current hiring process doesn't really honor that. And, it's a lot the case of keyword matching. But at the same time, we hear employers saying, but we're looking for grit, we're looking for resilience, we need the soft skills. But they're not putting those soft skills into the job description.
Interesting.
So we looked at this situation, and again, I called a team of learner leaders together through our friends and partners at Berkeley Reads at the Berkeley Public Library. And Ray Jackson, who's in class right now, shared a particular example where he was a very successful nurse recruiter. He would help hospitals at the last minute fill vacancies with the nurses they need, and he'd done this through building a lot of relationships with nurses, and he could do the job well. But he didn't have a 4-year degree, and then someone with a master's came in and took his job. Ray trained him, and then Ray was out on the street. And this is a pretty common situation, but the sadness is the nurses and the people at work wanted Ray because he was better at it, because he had the skill set to do the work, and the guy with the master's didn't really have the right mix of skills. So even the company didn't win by scaling up,
Right.
So through this project, we worked with a team of learners who said, what do we really want other adult students to know, especially those who don't have a 4-year degree but have relevant work experience. So they designed a workshop and a workbook that people can use with their tutor, but the first place is, again, a peer-led workshop where the learners help people reflect on what they invented this idea of life certificates. So you may not have this kind of degree, but think about challenges you've come through, and they come up with a way of helping people, listen to each other's stories and reflect back the extraordinary strengths that people have.
Yes. Yes. Of all things, and you call it the Common Knowledge Group, and there's some certain things here that are common sense. The whole concept of a life certificate, it makes sense, very exciting. What happens with that, and how is that being used, and what impact is that having on the new through the New Resume Project on employers?
Well, we are still sort of in the pilot phase. We've been able to present this workshop in library-based literacy programs and also a place in San Jose called Recovery Cafe and the Berkeley Adult School. We are now circling back to watch the process. So we were first just working with adult students, some of whom who didn't have a resume, or if they did, it was mostly that sort of name, rank, and serial number.
Right.
So if our colleague Ray were here, he would tell you, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself to a full resume. So the workshop helps students really think about the strengths that they're bringing to it. They also help people think about the skills that they develop perhaps in volunteer situations. So, for instance, we had an example of one woman who had been volunteering in the back of the room at her child's preschool for years, but then was able to claim that experience to step into getting hired as a preschool teacher.
Very good.
Things people don't think of, that they might be the one person at their food service outlet who know how to run that one piece of equipment, and they train others. They don't think of themselves as a lead or a mentor. But there are so many ways that different folks are presenting leadership, initiative, problem solving, and so that's been the delight, is we're bringing that richer understanding and appreciation for themselves, and then helping the tutors. We do the workshop, and then they go to the lab, and we have a template, and they drop that in. We've also seen people interested in doing this not to get a full-time job, but to beef up their resume if they have a small business on the side. One of the workshops, one of the students was a seamstress, and it gave her more confidence in how she was marketing her part-time business.
Once again, Susan, I have to say, is along the lines of the voter projects that you've done, and then this New Resume Project, breaking things down in a way that, yes, it's going to help folks maybe that we identify as being at the lower level of literacy or not engaged in their community or being low income, whatever, but them coming up with things that would help the average person. Right now I'm working with a friend of mine. He's asking for help on his resume, and it's like, it's kind of hard for us, to think about what are our talents, and how can I communicate that on a resume. It's something that's very much needed. I'm curious. I think you said there is a book or booklet. Is that something you're going to make available soon to everyone?
Yes, and if people would like to go look at it right now, our website is www.ck, that stands for Common Knowledge, ckgroup.org. And right on the homepage, there is a blog post about the New Resume Project. People can download the workbook. They can contact us about doing workshops with it now that we've gotten enough of our first round test workshops. And we are investigating how we can spread this and make it, of service to programs, and programs can combine it. Some already have resume activities, and then they see this as a complement or a thing to add into it.
Very good. We have just less than a couple of minutes. One question I have is, I know that you're situated in California, but is it your hope that the New Resume Project, the benefits from it, the literature coming from it, will will hit the national arena?
That would be great. I think we're still early enough that we'd be delighted if it moves up and down the state. And if it gets proven here, then we can definitely expand it elsewhere. That's what we saw with the Key to Community Project. Other states picked it up, and it's informed and inspired better practices in other states. But we like to keep road testing something to make sure it really suits the needs of the different partner organizations. So we're thrilled that you're giving us a little visibility, and we'd love to hear from your partners.
Very good, and I hope that they do contact you. Susan, your work over the past few decades is it's out there, it's admired, and I think that whole marketing background and just yours, you're being conscientious about doing things right and working with the public, working with the people who we should be working with instead of making assumptions. And I think you've done a great job in focusing upon content and just collecting feedback. So I applaud you for that.
Oh, thank you, Jose. I really appreciate the opportunity and also appreciate the leadership you're providing by making sure everybody sees the interconnectedness of, how we all benefit from increased literacy.
Thank you so much, Susan. Hopefully we can have you back. Thanks for joining us on the Literacy for All radio show, WS Radio, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com. Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com. Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.